Welcome everybody to Randomjeanc Reviews, Rogue Legacy. It took me a while to do this one, for I had run into many problems recording the game footage, but luckily I was able to fix them thanks to my amazing Adobe Premiere Pro skills. Just kidding. But I really was able to fix it thanks to Adobe Premiere Pro. What? Randomjeanc Reviews another 2D pixelated roguelike indie action RPG game? What can I say? I love pixel art, and maybe it is because I just think pixel art, or most of it, looks amazing to me. Or maybe it's just a nostalgia slapping me in the face. Ow, stop, that hurts, shit. As I mentioned earlier, Rogue Legacy is a 2D pixelated roguelike platformer retailing on Steam for $14.99 US, which is a great price for the content and quality of the game. The game was released June 27th, 2013, developed by Celador Games, an indie team of just two brothers, Kenny and Teddy Lee. They have created games like I Have One Day and Don't Shit Your Pants. Yes, you heard correctly, Don't Shit Your Pants. Rogue Legacy is their biggest game yet, and took about 18 months to develop, and was inspired by Dark Souls and The Binding of Isaac. It's probably the reason why this game is so damn difficult, but rewarding, very rewarding. And as well as addicting. Or maybe I just have a problem, roguelike games, and I'm biased as fuck. But anywho, let's continue. Apparently the Lees... No, damn it, not those Lees, but these Lees. Each Lee had to spend around $15,000 of their own money, which they gained back in just an hour of the release of the game. The intro is very short and shows two quotes from a knight heading into Castle Hampson. The scene later becomes a playable tutorial of the game. Once the knight reaches the top of the castle, he attacks the king. Later, as you spawn and move forward, you stumble upon a journal that tells you that an assassin has wounded but has not killed the king. So the king orders his sons and daughters to save him. The eldest son, the prince, is the one we will follow throughout the 25 journal entries in the game. Each entry telling us more and more about the prince's journey to reach the king. It may seem like a boring way to tell the story, but know that the story of the game is not the most important factor to the game. The story mostly takes a backseat to the game, and the gameplay is really where the meat of the game is. Get it? Meat? Because there's meat in the game that heals you? Huh? That is not to say the game's story is shitty. Oh no, definitely not. In fact, you learn to like the prince and the progression of his quest as he nears closer and closer to the end of his quest. You learn much about the mysterious lore of the game and the castle's importance leading up to the great ending. The graphics are some of the best pixel graphics I have ever seen. I absolutely love pixel art, and I wish I could learn to do it myself. Anywho, the sprites of all the characters are great, especially the enemies and backgrounds, which are very detailed. Once again, the game soundtrack delivers magnificent music that really sets the mood for a fast-paced action platform. The music is unique and offers so many varieties of songs that even the game acknowledges are great enough for the game to offer a jukebox that plays most songs in the game. The beats, tempos, melodies the soundtrack offers are great and worthy of listening outside the game too. You will be humming and have multiple songs stuck in your head, and to me, that is exactly how you know you have created excellent tunes, worthy of purchasing standalone. The sound effects are very fitting and do just what they are designed to do. Armor clanking, sword strikes all sound like they're supposed to, although some sounds could be improved slightly. But it's not like the game is going for a realistic feel anyways. That's not what it's all about. It's more of a nitpick really. Finally, the gameplay is what makes this game so damn fun. The goal of the game is essentially to become as rich as possible. You have to collect coins to upgrade your castle. You don't level up from experience, you level up with coins. To get said coins, you go into Castle Hampson with a different brand new layout every time you die. Hence the roguelike elements, and enemies you kill will drop money. You can scour the castle for chests, mini-bosses, fairy chests, bosses, mini-games, and more, all in the castle. Once you inevitably die, your cash will be given to your heirs. They will inherit your money and be given all of it. Each heir will be a character class, from mages to barbarians to Hokage and Spelunker, but not limited to just those. Each class has unique abilities and health and mana stats. For example, the barbarian has a significant amount of health and a shout, very similar to Skyrim's Dragonborn, but has lowered stats to make up for it. While Spelunkers are very weak, but each coin picked up by them will be worth 30% more. The Hokage does extreme damage and can teleport, but he cannot create critical hits. All character classes will be given traits, and this is really the premise of the game. A Upon death and choosing a new heir, your character will be given random traits. It does not matter what class you are, all traits are equal and will not affect one class more than other classes. But certain traits may be more beneficial to other classes. With each new heir possessing positive or negative traits, sometimes your character can possess neutral effects as well, like have uncontrollably farting, to only being able to see the world in black and white, to being diseased with glaucoma and seeing the world very poorly lit. Many traits can be purely negative, like seeing the world upside down, or your character being cursed with dementia, which causes you to see imaginary enemies that cannot harm you, but can certainly screw you over and confuse you with the real enemies that can kill you. Some traits can be awesome, like dwarfism, so you can be harder to hit and get special access to tunnels that are accessible due to your tiny midget size. Your character can have up to 2 traits, and there are 31 traits in the game. If you don't like your traits or character class, you can just kill yourself. Luckily, dying holds no real consequences besides losing your current traits and starting in a brand new castle layout. Remember, your money will be given to your heir, so you don't really lose any money. The castle is divided into 4 areas, and despite dying and creating new layouts for the castle, each section of the castle will always be divided to certain areas or sectors. For example, if you go the furthest you can go vertically, you'll always enter the tower, the 3rd stage with the 3rd boss, and if you go all the way to the right, you will eventually enter the forest, the 2nd stage with the 2nd area boss of the game. You can access any of these sections from your very first playthrough or your very first descendant, but you will get your ass kicked and your ass handed to you. Each area of the castle has their own unique enemies, but there are plenty of variety among them. Rogue Legacy has extremely tight and excellent controls. If you die, it's not the game's fault, it's yours. I would highly recommend you play with a controller, such as the Xbox One controller or 360 controller, or the PlayStation controllers as well. It doesn't really matter, whatever floats your boat and suits your playstyle. As you upgrade your castle, you will unlock new NPCs. For example, the blacksmith. He will be able to forge armor and swords. Each sword and armor can increase your magic or health, or even give you special abilities like vampirism that makes each enemy kill recover some health. With the enchantress, you can choose a large variety of different spells that you can mix and match and carry up to 5 different spells. Some may give you double jumping, while others may make you dash, and even others that can affect enemies, make them tougher but drop more coins, or make them weaker and drop less coins. The more money you have, the more castle upgrades you can afford, such as buying new classes or upgrading old classes, or even buying stat points for all classes, such as more damage, being able to carry more equipment, or just increasing health. As you progress, enemies become easier and easier. At first they will be insanely powerful, but after collecting enough cash and upgrading yourself, you will annihilate your enemies and grow powerful enough to defeat the area boss, and in doing so you can do the same to all the other areas. Keep in mind, as you go to the harder areas, your rewards will be much higher as well. You do this until you defeat all 4 bosses and move on to the final boss. Not to mention, there are remixed versions of all 4 bosses plus a plus mode, so you will be very busy for a very long time. Also, the more you upgrade, the more money it'll take to upgrade your castle. So yeah, you will definitely have your hands full. The addiction of gameplay Rogue Legacy offers is very similar to other roguelike games. The addiction comes with the challenge of the game and the undying want to complete a much better run. As your power grows and you gain new allies and new classes, so does your appreciation for this excellent title. With style, atmosphere, and orgasmic music once again reverberating in your head, Rogue Legacy is a magnificent game capable of soaking up countless hours of your life without you even noticing. I'm sure you have seen this coming, but Rogue Legacy is absolutely and positively, not negatively, worthy of an insta-buy, which also currently holds a 95% rating on Steam out of 9,452 reviews. I guess you could say Rogue Legacy definitely left a legacy within you, if you know what I mean. Well, thanks again guys for sticking on by till the end of the video. I do more giveaways, but the first one of Binding of Isaac is still in effect. There's no point in doing more if I haven't even reached over 25 different comments on that first video. I will do more as soon as that's gone and done with, or if this video itself gets over 25 different comments from 25 different people. Nonetheless, thank you for your patience, and if you want to see my Hotline Miami review, click here. And if you want to see my Binding of Isaac review, click here. This is Randomjeanc signing off.